Action.
There's no time like today.
No time like today. Don't look at me because I'm gonna get shy. I actually never film when he's at home because I get shy. Anyway, hello, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Diana. I am a 32-year-old Mexican American living in Washington State. I can just see you.
Doing what?
In the corner of my eye going like this.
Okay, so I just like...
Just chill. Just chill.
Just like pretend that I'm...
You don't have to pretend to be anything.
This is new to me.
This is your first YouTube video. Welcome to YouTube. This is my boyfriend, my man, my partner, Gael Gallegos. He is a musician, graphic designer, a security guard, a photographer. He is everything. And so for today's video, I wanted to introduce him and answer some serious questions from the We're Not Really Strangers card deck. I grew up on YouTube when the tag My Boyfriend Does My Makeup was really popular, and so I want to bring it back. And so for today's video, I asked my partner here if he would be willing to answer some of these questions while doing my makeup. Have you ever done anybody's makeup before?
Never.
Never.
Have I ever?
Never have you ever. I think we're just gonna go through the questions until he's done doing my makeup. No pressure. It's fine. You're gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fun.
Thank you for doing this.
Of course.
I do.
This is getting stressful. Okay, let's see what we got.
Don't stress.
Do I get to ask you questions or...
I might be able to answer. I might not.
Okay. My biggest... Can I Google shit? No. Okay. Wow.
Before we get started on the makeup, I do want to tell us how we met.
Oh, okay. So before we do this. Okay.
Yeah, you're already stressing out.
Yeah, I'm like, there's so many things. Do women really all wear this shit?
The rules are that I'm not going to tell him what anything is.
Like, am I supposed to use everything?
No, you're not supposed to use everything.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Whatever you want to use to make me look fabulous.
Oh, yeah, I don't need to do that. You look fabulous.
Okay. Wanted to just talk about how we met.
So I can't even use references on my phone? Like,
Nothing.
Okay. It's all from memory.
It's all from memory.
God.
It's like art. I want you to tell the viewers how we met.
I get that asked a lot.
Wait, have we introduced you?
Yeah,
I kind of introduced you.
You said my name is...
But I didn't say that you're a Mexican as well. So we're both Chicanos, we're both Mexican Americans. Is that how you identify?
I feel like everybody in the American continent is American, but yeah.
But everybody identifies differently. Like some people
true.
will be like, I'm Latina. Some people will be like, I'm Hispanic. Some people will be like, I'm Chicano. Like everyone identifies differently. And so I wonder, I go back and forth between Mexican American and Latina.
I'm just straight up Mexican. I just tell people that.
I dig it.
I like make it easier for everybody.
I mean, you are. We are.
Yeah.
But I like to add the American element to it because we were raised in the US. And so that kind of reminds people. But I've even had people who have said like, oh, you think you're American? And it's like, no. I mean I am.
All,
yeah, I mean, we all are. But
if you're from Peru, you're from America.
Yeah.
Well, the whole term of America is also kind of problematic. The colonizers call America, but the natives do not call it America. They call it the motherland. Yeah.
The motherland.
I actually call it something else, but I forgot.
Would you like to tell people how we met?
Yeah, it was a sunny day in May 2020.
2020?
2.
Yeah, bitch, what? Who the fuck did you meet?
I was trying to remember the date.
Uh-huh.
Is it me telling the story or is it you telling the story?
Okay, you go.
And I was working as a security guard at this bar in Capitol Hill. And I'm on there, trying to look badass.
Trying to look sexy.
And out here comes Diana with her posse.
I was there with a few friends.
Posse. It was a posse. And she sits there and she has her posse ask me questions like, what time is it?
You're saying this wrong.
Am I?
Yeah. Probably because you've actually only heard this secondhand. You were just wandering around the restaurant as you should, as is your job.
It was in the rooftop. We were on the rooftop.
And I'm sitting there with my friends and I spot him and I'm like, oh my God, he's so sexy. And I tell my friends like, and this was me being single for 6 months, 7 months. And I was like ready. I saw him and I was like, oh, he's sexy. Like, how do I get his attention? And the girls were like, ask him what time it is. And I'm like, it's 2022. Like we all have phones. We all know what time it is. Then he's like walking by and sure enough, I'm like, hey, what time is it? Or something stupid like that.
She did it. She broke the ice.
I broke the ice.
As a guy, it was a nice feeling to be like, oh, someone wants to talk to me. We started talking. Then Dana asked me if I was dating someone. Working as a security guard in Seattle or bartending. People drink alcohol, so they get a little liquid courage in them. I kind of picked up on like, oh, she has some courage in her blood. Let's see what's going on. But she, looking at her without even makeup, she's very beautiful. So she asked me, and I gave her my number.
Wait, you didn't answer the question. So I did ask him. I was like, "Are you dating anybody?" Or I said, "Are you single?" And he was like, "I'm not." And I was like,
yeah, I wasn't at the time.
Sad face.
I wasn't at the time. Oh, I'm being distracted. I was in the process of ending a fling with someone. I wouldn't call it a real full-blown relationship. It was basically not available, but I was ready to play the field. We've all been there when we're like
getting ready to break up with someone and feeling
playing baseball out there, playing the field. So
I've definitely been there.
Huh?
Before you. So I said, "Here's my number. Call me when you break up with your girlfriend."
And then she called me while I was working, literally minutes, and we started talking about her job, where she was working at, and I talked to her about mine. She was like, "Let's go dancing," but obviously I'm not going to go dance with someone.
Well, you have a girlfriend.
So I was like, nah. I got invited to hang out that night to watch on Netflix. I was like, no, I prefer
by someone else.
No, by you.
Oh.
I was invited to go,
I invited you to come dance with me.
And then she said in a text message.
Okay. So then
I guess I'm not saying that part. We didn't talk.
So I wake up the next day and I'm like, oh my God, I am so ashamed. I cannot believe I did any of that. And I remember thinking, like, I opened up my phone and I was like, I want to apologize to this person that I've never actually, like, I don't know, but I just met briefly. But I don't want him to get a text from some girl when he's sleeping next to his girlfriend. So I thought, I'm going to do him a solid and I'm just going to forget this ever happened. And that's it. And then
about a month later, I had already been single, because literally like a week or two after this incident, I had broken up with the person that I was having a fling with. Her posse comes back without her, and they're like, "Estás bien pendejo, you're so dumb, like you really dropped the ball. Dana has her own place, she's like a well-made woman, like you really could have just gone home with her that night."
Oh my God.
And I thought to myself, I am single now, and I texted her, your friends came by.
A friend that I was teasing him FaceTimed me while she was at the bar.
At this time I was a bartender. Now I wasn't a bouncer.
You were a bouncer, yeah. And I was at home, like, working out, like literally on the ground on my yoga mat, doing sit-ups, sweating. And she's like, "Do you remember him?" And I don't know, I didn't even get a good image of you, but you got an image of me just like,
I remembered you.
Sweaty and gross.
No, I don't remember the sweaty and gross. I remember you coming into the bar, and I remember who you were when she said, "Do you remember this girl?" I was like, "Oh, I do." So I was the first one to make contact.
Yeah. Well, because I told you, I put it on, ball was in your court. He texted, we talked for like a week, maybe two, set our first date. He took me to a sushi Mexican fusion restaurant in downtown Seattle.
Japonesa.
And then we went
pretty good.
To a brewery after that. Then he had to go work. And so then we ended up meeting up again that night.
Vibe check.
Yeah, vibe check.
Second vibe check, part 2.
And then he left to Mexico for a week.
The next morning, 10 days.
10 days. And then we texted through Mexico, and then
we did.
He came back, and he came back.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. We're not going to get into the details of that. But yeah, so that is how we met. And I know that sometimes when we share this story, we are a little nervous because I feel like we've gotten some
shit.
Yeah, we've gotten some shit by some people who are like, "Oh my God, like I can't believe you asked for his number when he was dating someone." And honestly,
or that I gave it the number. I was like, everybody has done some bullshit.
I feel like
we're trying to defend this.
We're trying to justify. When we first met, we really were both at a place of vale verga. Like we really didn't give.
We weren't looking for anything serious.
We were not looking for anything serious. I had just broken up with someone. It was a hard breakup for me, and coming back on the scene of dating, I had met him, and it is very hard to find like a hot Mexican out here, let me tell you. And so when I like saw him, I was like, oh my God. And like he said, he was getting ready to break up with that girl that he was just like messing around with. And he was getting ready to like leave the country for many, many months.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I was leaving to go to Germany for 3 months.
We really were both in a place of vale verga is like the best way that I can explain it. I'm glad nothing happened. I'm glad you were respectful enough to not come through that night. And I'm grateful that you texted me a month later when you were done with that girl. I mean, yeah, the rest is history. We really tried to fuck around for the rest of that year. So for like all summer long, we were just no strings attached. Like, he's going to Germany, I'm just messing around. And then we fell in love. And then he moved his dates around so he could stay here for my birthday. Then he came back from his long trip and our relationship just got stronger and stronger. Now we live together. I mean, it's pretty crazy where we started and where we are. I am so grateful for you, and I'm so glad I met you, and you are the love of my life. Sometimes we kid and we're like, why couldn't we have met each other earlier? But honestly, we met at just the right time for both of us.
We had lessons to learn.
We had lessons to learn, people to date before meeting, finding our way to each other. Anyway, just wanted to tell you guys how we met. I know it can be controversial, and if y'all want to hate, y'all can hate. But we're gonna get started with the makeup. Any comments before we get started? Also, just glad we met in person and not through a dating app.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was awesome.
That was cool. I feel like the past doesn't define us. I'm grateful that you came to my life. I'm grateful that you're my woman. I love you. It's cool. I love how we met.
Yeah, honestly, me too. I love how we met. I mean, it might be problematic, but it could be that I'm just trying to justify it. But I do feel like we did kind of follow the ethical rules of life in a way, maybe a little distorted, but we did. It doesn't keep me up at night. Okay, so for this portion of the video, G is just going to do my makeup while I pull from these two little decks here. I can start the first question.
So I just started looking at all this shit?
Yeah, and just for reference, I do have toner and sunscreen on my face. I already washed my face, I already added toner, and I already added sunscreen.
Can I ask you?
You can't ask me.
Fuck.
But think about how when I do my makeup. You've never seen me do my makeup.
Face or body. Okay. Where's foundation? Where's the foundation? Skin finish natural. Okay. Is this? Oh, you can't answer that shit. Bronzing powder. I can figure it out.
Okay.
Baked powder blush. Okay, that's blush.
I have to let go. Control. Okay, so I'm just gonna start with the first question. How would you describe our first date in one word? So that's a question for me. In one word.
Skin finish. It has to be finished. Wait, are you asking me?
No, I'm thinking. The one word would be fun. I think we had a lot of fun the first time that we went on a date. We went to a sushi restaurant. We went to a brewery after that. Then he had to go to work. And then he came back over to my place and we just hung out. And it was just fun all around. Like, I had a lot of fun that first day.
Okay.
What would you describe or in one word? Are you stressing out?
I should have done some research. Mascara, that's for the eyes. Do you do your eyes last? You do, right? Wait, you're not supposed to tell me. Okay, I'll do your eyes last. All right, let's do it. How would I describe our first date?
In one word.
Our first date in one word. How would I describe it? I would say that it was magical. Sounds too cheesy, but maybe.
Really think magical?
But it was great. I had a great time. I got to know you. We revived, even though it was bullshitting around.
I guess that's nothing. Okay.
It's gonna be wild. Thanks for trusting me, baby.
Yeah, tell me if you want me to do anything with my face, okay?
I want you to do something with those lips.
Stop.
I'm sorry in advance if I ruined your makeup.
It's okay, you'll just buy me new ones.
Basically. Okay, I think this is what you need to do.
Okay. We're gonna go with the next question.
Monumental.
Monumental.
There you go.
That's cute.
This makeup shade doesn't match your skin.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I'm just saying
so
bullshit.
I just say that.
I'm just saying bullshit. Okay, move to your... Yeah, I think this is good enough. Okay, next question, I guess.
Okay, next question is for G. How do our strengths and weaknesses complement each other?
It's something that said highlight. Lights. Oh, that's what it is. How do our strengths and weaknesses complement each other? Fuck. I'm assuming this is gonna be it. Fuck it. I would say that I'm using this. I use this like this. We joke about this a lot, but it's true. Like, you're number 4 and I'm number 6.
What does that mean?
Oh, whoa, wild. Like, I'm very like hippie, kind of like what the world. This is the right thing. I'm very go with the flow, and you are very like scheduled, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. We only have 15 minutes to do this kind of thing. So I feel like that helps us, right? Like, you teach me to be more in control of my bullshit, and I teach you to be more flowy with your bullshit.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree that you're laughing at my face.
You're not allowed to see, right?
No, not yet. I do feel like our personalities are different in that way. I'm very type A. Everything needs to get done. I wake up early. I like to do things a certain way. And G is very much like whatever the day brings. It was really hard in the beginning of our relationship because I would be like, what time are you coming over? And he'd be like, oh, around 4. And I'm like,
no, bitch.
Around 4 or at 4? Or after 4, because
I need the exact minute.
I need to know what time you're gonna be here, because my time is my time. It's my precious time,
money.
And if and it's a money, bitch. I need to know.
The fuck is this? I like crayon. The fuck is that supposed to? Okay, no, you go ahead.
Throughout our relationship, we've learned how to work with each other and how to work with each other's strengths and weaknesses. I agree. I think it took a couple of times, and then G was like, oh, okay, I can't just be showing up whenever I want. I have to. You went from to.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to.
It's okay. It's okay. We can take it off after.
What is this? Eyeshadow. Okay. Fuck. Okay. This has never been so hard in my life.
What about me most intrigued you before we started dating?
This has no explanation whatsoever.
This is a question for me. Honestly, I think it was that. So one of the questions that I asked him when I first met him was where he was from. And so he had shared that. Am I closing my eye?
Yeah.
Okay. He had shared that he was Mexican American, that he was born in San Diego, which I was also born in San Diego. Having that in common, and then also for him to be like, I grew up here, but my parents are Mexican. It was just like, oh my God, someone that is like me. I've dated, my ex-husband was white. My ex-boyfriend was Pakistani. Like, I had dated every culture except for my own. I guess at the time for me, it felt like it was hard for me to find someone like me.
That one's hard.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but...
Brow pencil. Oh. I'll do that after. I'm doing the eyes right now.
To answer the question, it was him being Mexican American. What was the most intriguing thing for you, B?
What?
What was the most intriguing thing about me before we started dating?
Besides your beauty, I feel like we just matched with everything. You matched with the language, and you were saying all these things.
What things was I saying? Oh, yeah, let's not talk about that.
This is all the eyeshadow you have? How about that? Do you have like any wild colors? No? Okay. That's all eyeshadow? Oh. You're supposed to help me.
I'm just pulling stuff open.
Ooh, smoky. I think that we were just very compatible with a lot of things that we had, and as I get to know you, and you're beautiful. I was like, why would a beautiful girl talk to me? And then I'm starting to learn much, and I was like, damn. Okay.
Look at my makeup so far.
No. Oh, like the camera.
Uh-huh.
Okay, go ahead. Close your eyes.
Looking good?
Beautiful. Oh my God.
Next question. How have you seen me grow in this relationship? Ooh, that's a good one. That was from me to you. We've been dating for
2 years.
2 years now. You could just say one thing that you've seen growth in.
One thing? There's a lot.
I mean, whatever you want.
Oh, you're so pretty. Even with shitty makeup. I've seen you grow in your mental health, accepting things. I mean, you're already very smart from the beginning, so I think it was very natural to see you grow. You allow people to change. You've stopped people from like draining your energy. You've grown in the relationship with your family. Definitely have grown a lot in that aspect.
Something that's been really highlighted recently is this idea that when you meet a partner that makes you feel safe and makes you feel like you can depend on them, then you really are able to do all of these things. How have I seen you grow in this relationship? I think with your family, that's a big one that comes up a lot. The ways in which you set more boundaries with your family, the relationships that you have with your family, very different than when I first met you.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck this shit is for, but...
Also, just your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your music. I mean, when I first met you, you were a musician, but you weren't doing anything with your music. Especially when we were on our trip, like you bought a guitar in Mexico and then you were taking that guitar everywhere and playing your guitar everywhere. And you are also a very malleable person. You allow change, you allow your life to kind of flow in whatever direction. Your career has also changed in the time that I've known you in a lot of... Here's an update. The way you looked at me and laughed is telling me something. It's telling me a lot.
Tell me that. I don't know how to do makeup.
I mean, you have been working on my eyes for like a solid 10 minutes.
Is this lip liner? No.
There it is. Oh my god.
You've allowed me, as my partner, you've allowed me to...
You want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, you allowed me, like, I feel comfortable.
How important do you think birthdays and holidays are to me? Explain. This is a tricky one because I come from parents that are Jehovah's Witnesses. So for me, birthdays and holidays, although they were important to me because I did not identify as a Jehovah's Witness, I didn't really have the family to celebrate with. So for me, it was like, okay, sometimes I forget that other people just have a different way of living and existing. It takes extra effort for me to text people and be like, happy birthday, or at work, people would be like, happy Thanksgiving. And I'd be like, oh yeah, like that's a thing. But for you, I think they're pretty special. I feel like even though your family dynamic, it isn't like costumbre for you guys to, it isn't like a custom or like a habit to like celebrate, but I do think you personally, you went off on my first birthday that we celebrated together. Like you really had me celebrate like with friends, and I was like, whoa, I've never done this before. I remember being so anxious. I literally had pain. Was that when I had like the pain in my butt?
Oh my god, well, you were anxious because of that, right?
Yeah. I could tell from that moment that birthdays and holidays were special to you. Also, you delayed your trip to spend your birthday, my birthday with me. How do I show you that I love you without telling you?
Oh. How do you show me that you love me without telling me? There's the PG version and then there's the non-PG version. Well, for the non-PG version, you know what that is like. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But for the PG version, the way I see it is when you like cook for us, ask me things or get things for me. Acts of service is the big one, and words of affirmation. I'm not a big words of affirmation person, but I feel like you are. But for me, acts of service is the biggest way to be like, oh, esta mujer se me ama. Okay. Not that bad at this.
The confidence. How's it look? What did you learn to not take personally with me?
Oh, a lot of things. Well, Diana, something you guys must know is that, and we actually just had a conversation about this yesterday, is that which is a trait not a lot of people have, and that she's very straightforward with people. I'm very non-confrontational. I don't want to say she is confrontational, but she kind of is, low-key.
I definitely am.
And it's not a bad trait because CEOs and top leaders are the confrontation people that are willing to go in and like, no, we're gonna figure this shit out on the spot. When we have conversations about any regular thing and you just say something blunt, like, even the word bluntly sounds bad, but like straightforward. I
don't know why we associate that all with bad, because it's neither bad nor good, like you said, but I hear you.
Some people like to sugarcoat things. I grew up sugarcoating things. My family's very non-confrontational. So it was hard to associate my loving partner talking to me very bluntly, but I have to realize, okay, she's not mad at me. This is just really how she operates at baseline and tells you things how it is. So there's still times where I forget about that, and I'm like, oh wait, no, this is how she is. And I mean, and we've just talked about this for the last 2 years, like your family calls you brava, and that you're mode and shit like that. But it's just how you are, and people need to learn to associate that that's not a bad thing. As long as you're not deliberately trying to hurt people's feelings, you're just being forward with who you are. So that's something that I have to learn to be, not take this home.
How does our age difference or lack thereof affect us, if at all?
You were 5. Five, right? No. 2? 3. It's gonna be a video outside that you're not gonna see. We're 3 years apart, so I feel like we don't have that much of a difference in age. The cool thing is that we grew up watching the same TV show. We grew up watching the same generation of TV. So I feel like even though we have a very small gap, it does feel nice to be the older person in this relationship. I don't know why. So I feel like I don't think it affects us at all. I think it benefits us because we are bicultural, bilingual. We get each other a lot. Do you have to do that? How am I doing the most? No, show your lips, camera.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
How do I look?
All right, I'm gonna do your cheeks last, and then I guess I'm done with your makeup.
Okay, so we have time for a couple more questions then. You wanted to put that in my cheek?
This is for your cheeks, right? Yeah, low lights. Yeah. This is not for your cheeks? It says low lights. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Read under it.
Prolong wear fluid line. I don't know what the fuck that is. Okay, I won't do it in your cheeks. You seem to be very bothered by that. This is the only thing you have for your cheeks? Your butt cheeks?
Okay, this one. How would you describe my relationship with work in one word? I'm answering that for you. G has a beautiful way of G has a beautiful relationship with work. It literally does not define him at all. It is a thing that he does because he needs to make money to be able to survive in this society, in this capitalistic society, as he likes to say. But he doesn't identify with any of his billion roles that he plays.
Just close the eye.
I actually really love that and strive to learn a thing or two from that. I think we would all benefit from seeing work as just a thing that we do, not as something that
it's a hobby.
But not, yeah, it's a hobby. And so your relationship with work, I would say, is very healthy. You also work extra. Like sometimes someone will call him and be like, hey, I've got this graphic design gig for you. And then he'll just like try and fit it in his crazy schedule.
I fucked it up more. Anyways.
Welcome to my life. Eyeliner is the biggest challenge for me.
Yeah, I would see you.
And whatever.
God, I love you so much.
Do I look silly?
I should have taken a before and after picture.
Yeah. Are we done? Are
you
done?
I think
you
so.
Feel confident?
I don't know what. Do I need to put this bullshit? Is this? I put this on your lips. Is this something else? You're not answering. Okay, just fucking do it. Why not? Nah, I'm gonna fuck it up. I already did a good job. All right.
Confident are we?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's 4 more questions that I want both of us to answer.
Got it.
How's my makeup?
I took a picture so you can.
I can't wait to see myself. What's the sexiest thing I do without realizing? I'll go first. For me, it is definitely when I see him playing his guitar up on stage, something changes in my brain. I mean, I think you're sexy when you're just walking around being hot with your tejana, your Mexican sombrero. But when he is up there on stage and he's got his guitar and he's like charismatically smiling at everyone and just being super into his guitar and his music, like really focused and really like passionate, that is when I find you the sexiest.
When you trust me with things and you don't question me, like, because I know you do that enough. Because I know that you have a thing with control and that you want things to be done a certain way and that you're scared because, you know, people have baggage of the past. But I think that when you, like, lead me the way and you let me and you're satisfied with that, and I think that's sexy when you just let me. I want you to go and live like this.
Okay. What are you currently working through that I don't see, if anything? I think I'm working through a lot of mental issues. Oh, I don't even know if I want to call them issues. You do kind of know about this because we talk every night. We are that couple that connects every night. I'm always telling you how I'm feeling. Right now, being unemployed, I feel like I'm working through my financial anxiety and like my purpose in life and who am I outside of a career of any kind and what do I want to do with my life, you know, a bunch of stuff. I just started somatic therapy, working through my thoughts. I want to call it like a reprogramming of sorts. That's kind of what I'm working through. What about you?
I guess just establishing a little routine, but for me it's more than just a routine. I think establishing the foundation for a future, setting the house ready, getting some finances, kind of just planting the seeds for bigger purpose out there. And it could be like further in my career, music. That's kind of what I'm kind of working through.
What do you overthink most in our relationship, if anything?
I think because of my trauma, I'm always scared that because we're doing so well and we're having such a fun time, and like I'm always scared that at any time you get tired, you get bored, you get mad, and you just want to pull the rug under the feet, and then we just dip. I feel like that's a trauma because in the past, with previous relationships, I was doing really well, or I felt like I was doing really well, and out of nowhere, like, oh shit, that was blindsided for me. So I feel like it scares me sometimes when we fight, that's gonna be the one thing that's like, oh no. But I don't know, it's just my trauma.
Yeah. For me, especially right now that I'm not working, you're taking care of me financially in terms of rent and bills. Like I'm paying my own bills, but I'm living in your house and you're the one paying for the bills in the house. I feel like I'm constantly overthinking around, am I doing enough? Is he gonna wake up one day and be like, okay, enough bitch, you lazy fucking whore, like get to work. Feeling like one day you're just gonna be like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? I love you.
I love you.
Last question. What's the most important lesson a past relationship has taught you that you apply to ours?
One of the most important one is that be true to oneself. A lot in a relationship, one will kind of get lost in the relationship, not do what one person desires. So constantly I have to remind myself that I can do what I want to do, especially like with my music or like with video games or things like that.
Yeah.
Where I wouldn't do certain things to please the other partner. But I think this relationship works out because we're both true individuals to one another.
For me, I think communication. We're constantly communicating when we're uncomfortable, when we don't like something, when we want to change something. Maybe sometimes a little too much, but we talk every night. We communicate anything that comes up. It's nice though. It's really nice to run things by you. Like whenever we have a disagreement, really taking the time to talk through, pause when we need to, and then just working through our feelings. You're a really good listener too. I love telling you things that I'm going through because oftentimes they like rummage in my head and then I talk through them with you and you always make me feel better. So that's really nice. I love you.
I love you, baby.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you guys for giving us your time, and I appreciate you coming here and watching us do our bullshitry, our fun.
Where can people find you on social media?
If you want to find me on social media, you can follow me on Hey Gallegos on Instagram. You can find me there if you want to know about my music. I'm glad that my baby did this. It's fun. And, you know, we'll see how many more we do this.
Yeah. I'd love to have you come back and maybe talk about your music.
If we do 1,000 likes in this video, 1,000 likes, then I'll come back and do something special.
Well, thank you for doing this with me. I love you. Why don't you get close to me and just like really look at everything? What are you most proud of with this makeup?
I like to call this a theme, and I feel like it's a theme. Like,
what is that? What's the theme? Okay, can I go?
Ready?
Can I say myself?
Set, go.
Bro, what am I? Fucking the Joker? Okay, the lips, I'm pretty impressed. What is going on? Lots of highlight in my nose area.
Isn't that a thing?
Is it my thing though? Think about how I do my makeup.
But you asked me to do your makeup.
The eye, bro. It's the eye. You didn't even do my eyebrows. You did nothing with my eyebrows.
Call the Harlequin.
Oh.
After the club.
Okay.
Hits the club.
Of
You know,
course
you're
you would.
dancing.
I mean, yeah. I thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for doing my makeup. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.